Welcome to episode 487 of This Week in League. I'm Nate.
And I'm Jay.
And I'm Glenn.
How you going, fellas?
Fantastic. How are you going, Nate?
Oh, fucking capital.
Capital.
Well, I can say a lot of things. I'm not going to say them
good.
because people are fucking little bitches and they can't handle a joke. So
You're so good. It's the 1930s again. Capital.
Oh yeah, it's fucking grand. We're watching too much fucking Boardwalk Empire.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking,
Since when have you given a fuck about people not being able to take your jokes, Nathan? You keep fucking jamming them down people's throats whether they fucking like it or not. This has always been the case.
There's no need to fucking bring our cubicle special time up on fucking podcast, all right?
Fuck! I walked out of there with a clenched fist. That's for sure.
Yeah, but you know what didn't walk out of that cubicle, Glennie?
You,
The
because you
fucking
were unable to walk.
the fucking sponge cake that we left behind.
Oh, I doubled with the sponge cake.
See, there you go. That was a Newcastle one. I was expecting you to say Alex McKinnon.
Brilliant.
You wheel him in there and you have your way with him and there's nothing you can do about it.
Well, I just feel it was awkward. Like the only cubicle big enough to take the both of us and a sponge cake is clearly the disabled toilet. So unfortunately, our timing was poor because Alex was in there laying a cable, and we're like, "Look, mate, this won't take long."
Mate, it's a tale as old as time. It is a fucking tale as old as time. Me and you, Glennie, fucking in the disabled toilet, lime washing those walls. Fucking sensational.
I'll tell you. But what a happenstance. How lucky was he that he could get you guys to look and see if he was finished rather than just have to guess wipe?
It's just unfortunate, and quite frankly, I find it a little degrading, and it's a knock to my ego that Nate walks in there with a fucking family-sized sponge cake, and he hands me a Twinkie. It's just unfortunate.
You get the little jam rollettes. See, I could call the episode that, and then people. But I actually think that time, I think people could put it together pretty quickly.
Yeah.
They go cubicle, yeah, all right. But still, let's put it down. I'll put it down as the fallback.
The working
position.
title.
The working title, exactly. The working title. You fellas want to talk about anything before we jump into this?
I want to talk about how you flick the switch as soon as you hit record and you're all chipper, whereas before we sat there and watched you be sour cunt for half an hour. But anyway, did we talk about?
I was just fucking getting my. I was just getting my fucking shit together for the episode.
That's called
get my
game
fucking
face.
Putting my fucking war face on. Jesus. You were sitting there like fucking like, and this is an audio medium, so I mean, you know, it's only for the benefit of stepdad, really. But you were sitting here like this the whole time.
No,
doing something with your mouth, like fucking reliving the events of the fucking weekend.
Trying to get the fucking jam rollette out of my fucking off the roof of my mouth. Motherfucker stuck there.
How good.
So you had your member side on. When was it? Saturday afternoon, Saturday night?
Yeah, you sure
How'd
did.
you go? I didn't listen to it. I edited it and put it up there.
It was fucking brilliant. It was great.
I don't want to fucking relive anything about that Tigers game. Thank you very much.
You and me both, homeboy.
Yeah.
That's the first one where it was like probably foregone conclusion. It was like, but by the time the record got hit, it was already just fucking miserable.
No, it was, but it was great. It was Dairy Queen vibes. We a few laughs. It was good times.
Yeah.
Surprise of the afternoon. Fucking Nico Hines' teeth.
Yes.
What the fuck's going on there?
What are you saying?
How have we not noticed this before?
Are they what, like Tom Cruise's, or are they like an Englishman?
Well, he looks. Do you remember in the original good version,
It's
the
Cam
non-woke
McInnes.
version of Aladdin, when Jafar smiles, when he's the old man, right at the
I
beginning.
remember the
Anyway,
details like that.
well, I'm saying his teeth are fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like an English person's teeth, right?
No, worse
gotcha.
than that. Like,
Okay.
yeah,
It's like
Like
Fitzgibbon
an English
said.
person in turn of the Industrial Revolution's teeth.
I don't know. Like the inside of his mouth looks like the fucking poster for Twins. Like there's a really big one and then a fucking stumpy one hanging down that, you know, shouldn't be next to it. It's just,
It's like Fitzgibbon tried to mix it up for the culture and team bonding and said, boys, let's make this game fancy dress. Come as whoever you want. And Nico thought, I'm coming as Cam McInnes.
I was just going to say that.
He's really got into fucking character.
Yeah. Is that one of their KPIs? Guys that just don't give a fuck about their dental.
Oh. Or is this? I don't know. Is this a bit more, bit spookier? Did Cam McInnes actually accidentally bite him at training one day? All of a sudden, he's turning into a werecam.
It's like a spider, it's like a radioactive Cam McInnes.
all of a sudden, he's got fuck teeth and he'll do anything for the club.
Love it.
A little bit of playmaking ability.
I mean, urge.
Like he was good at the Storm, but you can't argue that he's fucking come on this year.
Like a sudden urge to bond with Mary.
There you go.
Let's get into the games.
Patrons, get onto that. Yes, so we are into the results of round 22, and Thursday night, the Melbourne Storm 16. Sorry, let me correct myself. The Melbourne Storms 16 defeated the Penrith Panthers 0, which is, I think, is the first time that they've been held to 0 since fucking
ever
1847.
History of the game.
Melbourne Storms 16 came through tries to Nick Meaney, Brandon Smith, and David Nofaluma, and Nick Meaney 2 of 3 conversions. And I suppose with David Nofaluma's try and the Penrith Panthers scoreline, it could be said that David Nofaluma single-handedly defeated the Penrith Panthers. Who had that on their fucking 2022 bingo card?
No one.
This truly is the darkest timeline.
It really fucking is.
I spoke to Jay in the Membersode on Saturday, but Nate, did you see Nofaluma's interview after the game?
I did not. Please enlighten me.
Well, apologies to our patrons who have already heard this, but so
fuck them. You pays your money, you takes your chances.
No, it was basically how are you enjoying the Storm? Obviously, says he's having a great time, but
it was much like that one we were talking about last week, right?
But he went so far as to say, I've been playing first grade a long time, and just the opportunity to be able to play finals, let alone a grand final, or something. I'm really looking forward to. And the next question was, are you keen to stay on here longer? And he fucking giggled like a little schoolgirl and said, "Oh, no comment," and fucking started like, you fucking
He's so dumb.
cock.
He's so dumb. He's just dumb.
Fuck out of here. Like, I understand that he's probably enjoying himself down there, and he's got every right to. The club's decision was to loan him for the rest of the season. But
this thing,
why do you have to make a little cunt of yourself?
You be the reporter, and I'll be Nofaluma, and you ask me that question. This is how you respond to that question.
David, do you think there's an opportunity for you to stay at the Melbourne Storm long term?
Well, thanks. Who are you? Who are you, Mick Ennis? Thanks, Mick. Thanks, Mick. I'm really enjoying my time down here, but this was only ever a loan agreement until the end of the season, and I'm contracted to the West Tigers, and I plan to fulfil those commitments.
Jay, that was almost word for word what you...
Boom. Shot down. That's it. Speculation dead.
That's it, Nate. But here's the thing, though. I lay the blame for this firmly at the feet of the West Tigers as a staff record label and as a motherfucking crew.
Well, I mean, because we always do. That's the circle of life, isn't it?
Well, we do because it's
but
always.
But let him explain because he's actually right.
Right. So I'm penning a fucking swap deal, for one of our players to go down there, and yes, so the football department and Noddy and Benji and Sheensy are there, and they're like, oh, awesome, go down and absorb as much as you can. And Benji's telling him stories about when he worked with Wayne Bennett and all the things he absorbed from him that he can now apply. Sure as fucking shit, before he goes, I have my media and PR team.
Give him a briefing on what you can and can't say.
10 snippets. So, David, you're going to get asked a lot of questions. Now, at the moment, obviously, we're a club that's building because that's how the West Tigers say we're shit. They say club that's building.
This is not what you said yesterday. You're actually very articulate and correct, and I agreed with everything you said.
He's being articulate right now. What are you talking about?
He's being a little cunt now.
No, people pay for the good stuff.
Oh, sorry. Okay. This is the shit that comes for free. I apologise in advance.
No, but, so we're obviously a club that's building, and they're a club that's been very successful, preferred destination for anyone that's off contract, fantastic coach, fantastic culture, like 20 years of top performance in one of the toughest sports in the world. There are going to be people who want to dig the boot in and essentially say, wouldn't you like to stay with the good team rather than going back to the team that's building? So here are the sentences we've prepared for you. They're written on bits of paper. Read them and learn them. And every time you're asked, you say a variance of one of these three things. That's it. That's all you're authorised to say.
Because literally all he has to say is, I'm enjoying my time, and obviously be complimentary to the place where you landed at the moment.
Everyone here has been so great to me. I can't thank them enough, and I can't wait. Yeah.
And then you talk about your actual contract status.
And while I'm here, my full focus is on helping the Melbourne Storm as much as I can and learning as much as I can. And then next year, I can't wait to take what I've learned and my experiences here back to help out the West Tigers. That's it. But again, what the first thing you said, your instinct, he's dumb. He's so fucking dumb.
We had that other interview the other through the week was the same. Like everything was just.
But how does the place that
he's not
worked
a speaker
for a decade not understand? Yeah, he's pretty fucking dumb. We need to school him up.
Yeah,
that is completely a failing of the Tigers.
Yeah, probably a failing of Bellamy too to communicate just exactly how valuable he is to the organisation, and that is
not
a placeholder. That's a body that's that's fucking like 1 degree warmer than fucking Dean Aramir and fucking. I mean, no, you're all. I mean,
despite all that, I think there were some glimpses of the old Storm in this game. I think they absorbed pressure, and Penrith had a few opportunities in the opening 20 minutes of the game, and Melbourne absorbed it and scored a try against the run of play and delivered a sort of 1-2 punch which set the tone for the victory. Penrith, as I said, had several opportunities, but that sort of continued on and off throughout the match. And Melbourne's their last.
I felt like the second half, it was the Panthers just. Yeah. The Panthers were just hammering them the entire second half, and that was the part of the Storm that we saw. Defensively speaking, I mean,
just
they
the
were fucking
scramble.
amazing.
It was. Like I said, I wouldn't say they were all the way back by any stretch of the imagination, but there was enough there to indicate that maybe they've turned the corner from their slump.
Yeah, I'm not sure that even they need to turn a corner. They just need some confidence and some combinations again. Because you've got to remember that the issue with Melbourne was depth. And those guys that came in didn't have time with everybody else in the squad. So it's natural to assume that they're going to improve, especially playing with such top-tier teammates.
Like David Nofoaluma.
Well, I was talking more, Munster and...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Those guys.
But looking at this, Melbourne got out of this one what they needed. But realistically, if they were going to be back, they should have put that Penrith team to the sword. They really fucking should have. And looking at it from Penrith's point of view, missing so many top-tier first graders, for them to be able to just do the rest of the game amazingly well. Like you're right, Nate, the second half, they essentially just camped down on Melbourne's line. Now you change those around and you take out the replacement players and you put in the Clearys, the Luais, the Edwards, Fisher-Harris leading that forward back, and camping on the line for the entire second half turns into, 2, 3, and then Noffa's there, so 9 junk time tries.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, if Panthers are letting Brandon Smith or Liam Martin's letting Brandon Smith just fucking go straight through for like a try from halfway, I mean, you put Pappy and Jerome Hughes and stuff in there as well, and I mean, there's more than 16 points of them coming their way as well, I mean, we can talk about the players that are out, But I think
we
the
certainly
Storm
can. I'm
almost.
saying that they did exactly what they need to do in those games. They just lacked the polish and execution in key positions to take advantage of what they've built.
Yeah, I think it came to a point in that second half as well where the Storm were just like, all right, the nil's more important than anything else.
That's it.
You know, just for their and as an exercise in defence for themselves, and so yeah, I think they'll come out of it pretty happy. I mean, the Panthers aren't going to be worried. I mean, like that, they can lose every fucking game. It doesn't matter. Guys will be back when they need to be.
And is anyone else surprised that a Craig Bellamy coached team is peaking at exactly the right time heading into a final series?
Yeah, exactly.
They were in probably a bigger dip than they were used to.
Mm.
Yeah, far more so.
But the trajectory that they're on now, let's say if you look across the league and who's on an upward trajectory, it's them and Souths.
Yeah,
sure.
So, Socialis.
Socials.
Joshua said, "Fuck me, that try's going to go straight to Noffa's head. He's going to be demanding a starting Origin spot soon." Greg, fuck me, why didn't Ricky murder Salmon last week? Lachlan, this Forbes Fiat is a fucking anchor. Yes, old Staines.
Yeah, I mean, this you hear the stories like Stephen Crichton. He might be a signing for the Doggies because he wants to play fullback. He's not going to play fullback at the Panthers. Doggies could buy him to play fullback.
Yep.
But I mean, and then you've got the fucking Charlie Staines could be like, go to the West Tigers to be fullback. I mean, fuck me, there are levels to this game in every little microcosm within the storylines of every game.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's it. There's some fucking buyer's remorse with old cum stains. Steve, he said Monica Lewinsky was the last person this frustrated by fucking Stains. Dominic said, whatever the Tigers are paying Uppy, they need to double it. This monster of a man is worth his weight in Bitcoin. He's fucking amazing. He's absolutely fucking amazing. Alexander, he said, Noflam is the new Leipana. You're hearing it more and more.
Oh, God.
And Cathal said the Storm defence was swarming like ants to a Mars bar tonight. You love to see it, especially when it's been so ugly at times this year. Both teams are down on a lot of troops, so it's hard to know how much stock you can put into a game like tonight, but regardless, delighted with the team's effort. There we go.
Right.
How good.
On to the early Friday game. The Warriors 42 defeated the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs 18 at Mount Smart. The Warriors 42 points came through tries, a double to Kosi. Then we had tries to Vialia, Wateni Zalesniak, Katoa, Sean Johnson, Adam Fanua Blake. 7 conversions from as many attempts from Reece Walsh. Doggies 18 tries to Avarillo, Flanagan, and Josh Adokar, with Burton 3 conversions.
I think the New Zealand emotion factor gave the Warriors an extra leg in this game, and they were confident. They scored some really slick tries, stripped the Bulldogs for numbers. It was just the way that the game finished was quite weird. The Dogs sort of hung in and were competitive.
Well, they got it back to they drew level, and it was like Warriors games that we've seen over the last few weeks where they've started well and got run down.
Yeah.
And this looked like it was going to be the case again. And then the Warriors had the try to go ahead that was disallowed, and so it just felt inevitable that the Doggies would run them down. And then all of a sudden they score 1,000 fucking tries.
It just
in like 10, 15 minutes.
The last 7 minutes. It was bizarre.
And we got to see a Sean Johnson try in this one that was like the fucking old YouTube shit. Like, I mean, it was like he was through and he's putting steps on, selling dummies. It was fucking amazing. Under the sticks, it was like, there we go. There is something left in him.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if that was the last of it.
Maybe that's
there was
the last drop, but it was worth it.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
A couple of moments for Birdo in this one. He's copped a lot of raps for his boot and his bombs and his combination with Josh Adokar, but fuck, he can miss a tackle.
He can.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah, it's fucking great for Warriors fans. I mean, it's been a long couple of years for those guys, and when they showed a little bit of spirit when they first came back to Mount Smart, I'm just glad that this win happened at Mount Smart.
Yeah, that's it.
And look, does it give them something to build on?
Who knows?
And funny, thinking back to what we said about this one before, like in the preview round, and it was exactly that the Bulldogs seem like that team that's building to something next year and everything to put together, and everything they achieve now will serve them well. It was exactly the opposite. If you looked at those two teams, that Warriors team looks like they were galvanised to play for each other and for their crowd and for whoever's up in the box, be it Stacey Jones or someone else. But if they can keep a hold of that energy, like I don't think they turn it around, a la Cowboys this year.
No.
But fuck, the start of something's there.
Yeah, this is the first time that the Dogs have really. I mean, like they always seem to sort of turn off or start fading around the 60-minute mark, and whether that results in they can get through and still win it or not. But man, this was the worst example of that, though.
Yeah, it was.
But then on the flip side, we had the Warriors doing their usual thing as well, like getting out and then fading.
Yep.
But they dug in, and shoeies for everyone.
Except that, what's your opinion on that?
Look, first, I mean, there's a couple of things that we need to get to the bottom of on that one. We got shoeies in general, and then this Roger, Shoevasa Czech guy. Look, so for starters, I mean, shoeies are fucking gross in the first place. Like you'll never catch me doing one. But secondly, the worst than shoeies is the person that puts their glass in the shoe and then does it. Because it's like they're not even ballsy enough to fucking go the shoey. They're just like they want to give. It's just like they're doing the appearance of the shoey.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're fucking posers anyway. But then thirdly, this has all been wrapped up anyway. I mean, the New Zealand Warriors themselves tweeted out this afternoon saying, "Everyone fucking put down your pitchforks. This guy is not fucking banned for life. He's not going anywhere." So they did reverse it. But what you're referring to, of course, is that he was said to have he was kicked out and said to have received a life ban.
Yes.
For his antics. For doing a shoey, yeah. Obviously prominently on camera. And so, yeah, then he was kicked out after that, apparently, and then given a life ban from Mount Smart.
And who fucking
reversed,
knows?
So no story
like, is that in breach of some fucking, alcohol law over in New Zealand where...
It's probably like the sculling of it or something, like like a binge drinking kind of, you know what I mean? Like, maybe something around those lines, but yeah.
But that whole thing was a fucking dog whistle for the worst kind of fucking boomer. Like, legit, the worst kind of fucking boomer.
Yeah.
Oh, what's wrong with just him doing a fucking shoey? Huh?
Boys will be boys.
Oh. Fucking hell.
Fun police.
Yeah, that's it. Dumb fucks. Anyway.
But yeah. Anyway. Socials for that game. Yeah.
Tynan, he said, is Trent Barrett coaching the Bulldogs again?
It was reminiscent, wasn't it?
It was. Joshua said, best winger in the fucking game. Freddie, you are a war criminal for not having him in Origin. Suck my bunghole.
That was early in the piece then.
Yeah.
Winston.
That was after he scored his try, I suspect.
Winston said, says a lot about a team. Says a lot when a team from a country stuck in 1983 can beat a team connected to so many organised crime groups. There you go. I don't know if that's official. Are they sponsors?
I don't know if that's the case. A couple of their members got fucking lit up today. Then
I know, but reduce it by two.
That's the case.
Jesus
Christ.
Christ.
They'll have to get those South style memberships next year.
Back in the old days, they only used to give them stitches. Fucking hell! Was there a new word for it? It rhymes with bullet. Robert said Bulldogs were terrible. Decent performance from Warriors, but the game felt like it was being played at a walking pace in patches. And Dominic, he said, undersell, over-deliver. The boys were on one tonight. Execution was much better. Everyone running like they were in a contract season. Fucking great to see. Imagine going for a team that gets flogged by the Warriors.
It's true.
And Levi, he said, it's such a toxic relationship, but no matter how much he goes missing, I will always love Sean Johnson. There you go. That's
Everyone's got one.
Vibes. That's the Dairy Queen vibes.
The Rabbitohs, 26, defeated the Eels 0 at Combank Stadium. The Rabbitohs scored their tries, a double to Cody Walker, a double to Alex Johnson, and Isaac Thompson with the try as well. Latrell 2 conversions and a penalty goal, defeating the Eels absolutely fucking nothing. Don't respect the Eels, I told you, motherfuckers.
Yeah, fucking hell. It's
Para's in free fall.
They're making up the numbers. There's a couple of teams doing it. Eels are one.
Yeah,
when it comes to the finals.
I feel like this this result and this game and the way it came about will have lasting effects on Para, especially come finals time. But they're in, as I said, they're in free fall at the minute. And in contrast, South looking more and more confident every week now that Latrell's back. He himself is absolutely killing it. Walker's grown a leg with Mitchell back in the side.
Yep.
Ilias has grown a leg.
He absolutely has,
and is delivering on what he was supposed to be.
Yep. And the Cook Murray combination as well.
Yep.
Now
Murray had an amazing game.
Yeah, it just I've said it the last several weeks, and I know I'm banging on about it, but the intangibles that Mitchell brings to the side over and above his outstanding skill and ability. There's just the confidence that he gives guys like Cody Walker, who's not a mug, no. But Mitchell's back in the side, Walker's a different player.
Yeah.
The combination, the extra, it might only be a split second, but at this level it makes a huge difference. So that combination between Cook and Murray with the extra option of Mitchell out the back taking some of the attention from the defensive line, it frees those guys up to take other options, which, Latrell may not even be in the play and he's influenced it. So,
yeah.
South, as you said before, Nate, South are very much on an upward tick, and some of the tries they scored where they stripped them for numbers was reminiscent of what they were doing last year.
And the thing is, it's those left side attacking runs that are absolutely nothing special. They're just done with everybody going as close to flat out as they can. So the defensive line has to move quickly, and so there's much more
have to make
margin.
decisions.
That's it. There's much more margin for error there. And they just do the simple things so fucking beautifully. And you see so many teams these days that when they get a sniff that they've got an overlap, they instantly want to get the ball to the outside man. And that's not the worst play to do. Obviously, if he's got his man closer in field and you can get the ball to him, it's open space. But to do that, you loft that pass and then the defense catches up. You throw it too flat and all of a sudden you're getting called forward. Like there's all of these ways that they can go wrong. And South just go through the hands every single time. And it is fucking glorious. So much so that it looks like it's being run at a slower pace than it actually is, because it's so simple. And you look at it and you think, well, fuck, that was telegraphed, and you knew it was fucking coming, and everyone manned up. Like there wasn't anyone that was offering the thing, and you still can't stop it.
Yep.
They're just like Melbourne, they're peaking absolutely fucking beautifully.
Did either of you see the footage of Damien Cook mic'd up in the previous game?
I did not. No, I did not.
He, I have to give him credit. He's far more, and I know, he's a senior player and he's a representative level player, but he's such a leader, and the way he gets in the ears of his teammates, just a couple of little moments he had with Ilias, just pumping up his tyres, just pulling him aside, hey mate, like maybe try this, or I can't remember his exact words, but just pulling him aside, keeping his confidence up, and just his vision around the ruck, and just little nuances and buzzwords and stuff that he's slipping at players just to get them moving, and you can just see they all respond really well to. I thought it was fucking outstanding to get that insight as to what he, in his position and for that side, what he brings to the table from a leadership capacity and how he communicates with his teammates. It's fucking... I really enjoyed it.
Good shit. Thomas. said, the mistakes creep in like they're desperate to break my heart. This is why we won't make it past our first knockout final this year. Discipline. Ricky, I love this one. Said Parramatta really throwing everything into keeping Papali'i by showing him tonight exactly what it feels like to play for the West Tigers.
Although he has since come out and confirmed, that he will be honouring his contract, as I wouldn't imagine he's got a choice at this point. But apparently part of the strategy to woo him into not backflipping was to take him through the new fucking Centre of Excellence and give him the big combination fucking quad stretch fade combination with the barber's chair they've got there.
I wonder if he's. I'll be interested to see what haircut he's rocking this coming week.
Yeah, I mean, if he's got the sick fade, you know how they got him over the line.
Aaron, he said, I guess you can't play Manly every week. Richard, Latrell Mitchell is a genuine game changer player. Yes, I know. Thank you, Captain Fucking Obvious. But he has turned South from a barely making the 8 into genuine title contenders. If they're not in the grand final, I'll be amazed. Thankfully, I will be in Milton Keynes for the next month, so I will see little of it. Rugby league doesn't exist there. Nice.
Done?
Nick.
No.
Oh, no, sorry.
No, we're not.
No.
That's right, go.
Went off.
All right. Okay, the Roosters 32 defeat the Cowboys 18. At the SCG, the Roosters tries a double to Verrills. Suwali, Lodge, Tupou, and Jared Warrior-Hargraves also a try. 4 conversions from 6 attempts to Sam Walker. The Cowboys 18 tries to Talangi, Robson, and the hammer, Tabuai-Fidow. Holmes, 3 conversions from as many attempts.
I feel like the good sides are starting to lift for the finals, and you can see the difference in their application and execution. Part of the Cowboys' development in what's been an outstanding season for them, we're getting to the business end, and they need to learn to find those new levels and match it with the top teams.
Exactly.
I think they struggled in large part to match it with the Roosters, and the Roosters, we've said plenty of times on the show over the course of the season that they're not the team that they were last year and that they've dropped a peg, but they know how to taper. They're well coached. They've got some outstanding players in that team, and I think
they're building as well.
Yeah,
for the right time, the right pace at the right time. And I mean, they're a team that I actually think has got. I think they've got far better prospects than the Cowboys in the finals.
Yeah, I think
Cowboys are one of the teams I'm marking down as do not respect.
I think the Cowboys are probably just at, that new stage of their development, coming from where they were prior to this season and the year that they've had. But, part of those teams like the Penrith, the Roosters, Melbourne, is part of what makes them so good is that they've been through the fire. And I think Peyton in particular, and also several of the players in the side need to probably take some lumps through a final series and come out the other side and for the Cowboys to be amongst those top sides.
Yeah, and again, it's the beauty of our game. It's not only 80 minutes every week that you have to battle to be fit and fit throughout for and to be able to play a high intensity for a long period of time. Then you've got the battle of being able to do that for the entire season.
Oh.
And thinking back to where the Cowboys were last year, this season for them must have been so fucking draining in terms of additional effort and energy to keep on, switched on. Although, again, you look at Parramatta last year, this time last year we were having that conversation about them. Oh, they were so great during the middle of the year and they've fallen off pretty badly and they're heading into this final series in...
Incidentally, the same conversation we have this year about Parramatta.
Oh, it's worse this year. It's fucking worse this year.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, Manly flogged them by like fucking 50 odd, this corresponding round. So,
True.
Like, they were getting flogged by more.
But
it wasn't great. Let's face it, it wasn't great this week, but still.
That Cowboys team just on energy, could potentially go into the finals and get through 2 rounds just on how they played the majority of the season.
Sure.
It's not unheard of. But Nick, he said B. Smith in for Verrills next year is looking like a downgrade. Really good pickup for the Titans. Not wrong. Ben, He said, is it time to respect the Chooks? Ran Penrith close in Penrith, 2 13-plus wins against the Cowboys, and beat the Sharks 36-16 in their own backyard.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
They're one of the teams that are on the up,
Yeah,
in my opinion. And we'll be there. Is that it for the comments?
That's it. No, that was Sharks Tigers next. Let's go.
Right, the Sharks 36 defeat the West Tigers 12 at Scully Park in Tamworth. The Sharks scored their tries through Miller, Ikuvalu, Hunt, Dykes, Hamlin Ueli and Jesse Ramian. 5 conversions for Nico and a penalty goal. Defeating the West Tigers 12 tries through New Brown and Luke Garner with Dewey. 2 conversions from as many attempts.
I tell you, if you would like to hear what we thought of this game as it was unfolding, go and subscribe to our Patreon, where you will get 40 minutes of us mercilessly ripping on the city of Tamworth and country music.
Fuck, I forgot about that. That was so much fun. There was a point where I called the Tigers the Meths Tigers, and said that Dane Laurie makes the Tigers look like a meth addict with a gold watch. Look, pretty ordinary from the Tigers. The Sharks took control midway through the first half, and whilst they didn't completely blow the Tigers off the park, they looked like they could if they really wanted to. Never really looked concerned about the result, and the Tigers, from their perspective, they're just not good enough to match it with teams like the Sharks, and they rallied in the second half, and they scored a good try through Garner and had a 1-2 disallowed. Naden had I can't remember, 1 or 2 disallowed, and if one of those goes their way, who knows, but I still think the Sharks were well in control, and there was no way that the Tigers were going to run over the top of them. So it was over pretty early, and I certainly enjoyed Jay's company through the second half far more than I would have just sitting there fucking watching that unfold on my own.
watching in your own fucking misery.
Yeah, that's it. But Naden, I thought he did some good things. He had a couple of errors. He's got those in his game, as Jay pointed out during the recording. But he's a far bigger. I was pretty meh when they signed him, but he's a far better pickup than I gave him credit for when the Tigers first signed him.
Mate, he's almost like the anti-Peach. Where
take that comeback. Fuck me.
Yeah. But like that try that Naden had disallowed, for that fucking questionable obstruction. That's what he has in him. The issue is you just got to. And by the end of his run at Penrith, they'd got most of the dumb mistakes out of him. The people are always going to drop balls when they're under fatigue or whatever it may be. But they got
to play the ball one.
Yeah,
that's a fucking killer.
That's it. Where you wrap your arm around the leg and try and stand up to say that they pushed you over, and just that shit doesn't fly. But that where he just went back and gave himself a little bit of room. The way he just got his stride up and ran through the fucking teeth of that field, you would look at him and you would say, well, he's an elite player in this sport. If you didn't know, you'd look at that and say, wow, he was absolutely magnificent there. So, Nato's good. Nato's a good player. But, yeah, you're right. The Tigers aren't good enough to play against first-grade teams.
Not what I said, but you're not far off.
Damien said, any chance Benji can captain an assistant coach next year? Chris, can someone please send out a search party for Craig Fitzgibbon's eyebrows? Jesus Christ. And Sam simply said FML. Whereas the show's premier Tigers fan, Aaron, with many more Dairy Queen vibes.
The fuck am I, chopped liver?
You're a host. You're not a fan. Fucking hell.
I'm a fan of this show. I fucking love your work. I love Nate's work.
You've seen the inner workings. If you're still a fan, it's fucking need a new.
Yeah, you've seen how the sausage is made.
You've seen the inside of the sponge cake.
Aaron said Parramatta 0, Penrith 0, West Tigers 12. Seems like the Tigers are the only Western Sydney team having a dig. Hashtag pride of the West.
Jesus fucking Christ. That is some propaganda that fucking Hitler would have been proud of. Fucking
that's not even illegitimate pride either. I mean, that's
straight up.
Straight facts.
Take it when you get them, sir.
Yeah. The Broncos 28 defeated the Knights 10 at Suncorp Stadium. 28 the Broncos came through a hat trick to Selwyn Cobbo. Corey Oates and Ezra Mann with tries. Reynolds 4 conversions. The Knights 10 tries to Daniel Saifidi, Bradman Best, and 1 conversion to Anthony Milford. This was a very similar game to the first time they played this season. Although the Broncos didn't put as many points on them at the end when the capitulation happened, but it followed a similar script in that the Broncos were well in control.
Yeah.
Big lead, match-winning lead. The Knights came back to sort of put some scoreboard pressure on them, and then bombed their comeback when they had all the momentum, and then the Broncos pulled away again at the end.
Yep.
Just to dump a bit of extra for and against on top of them.
The Knights are already in Bali in the first half.
Yeah.
They, as you say, they did rally. I feel like the Broncos, all in all, handled Newcastle pretty easily, but that second half showed that, we talk about the development of teams like the Cowboys. The Broncos are very, very much along a similar vein, and have plenty to work on as they head towards the finals. Just want to make mention again of Corey Oates. He had another really solid game, and they spoke to him after full time, and the way he spoke was really quite impressive. And he spoke about how he essentially took for granted his time. When he first came into first grade, he was playing Origin, and he said, that led to complacency, and he wasn't working hard. He wasn't focused on what he was eating and how he was training and doing extras, and it, very nearly, in his words, it was very nearly the end. His time at the club was close to finishing, and he made a conscious effort to turn that around by way of his actions and his application to looking after his body, looking after his nutrition, and working hard, and it was actually really impressive to see a guy put his hand up and be accountable for, I probably haven't quite been the professional I should have been at various points in my career, but people are starting to give me some raps now, and I've joined the dots as to I'm at the later stage of my career, and it's more important now than ever to focus on those off the field elements as far as making sure he's mentally prepared and looking after his body, etc. I really enjoyed the level of accountability from the bloke, to be quite honest. Considering he was, as we've said before, he was very close to being shut out by the Broncos under the Seabolt, etc. So it's good to see him, turn around.
And I'm not taking everything into account about what he just said, but what does that tell you about Anthony Seabolt, that he was prepared to let Corey Oates go? I still, to my fucking dying day, I will not get the Corey Oates hate, unless he was a fucking negative influence at training or a cancer in the dressing room, which we'll never have any insight on. I don't fucking get it. He's not on massive money.
No.
He's never gone shopping. Like, there has never been a report that Corey Oates is exploring options elsewhere.
No, ever. And I think, whilst he's joined the dots and he's put his hand up and been accountable, Seabold's approach was, he's done. Ship him out. Instead of pulling him aside, looking at a guy that understands what it takes to play Origin, etc., and say, mate, I need you. This is the role I can see you playing in this team. What I need from you is X, Y, and Z.
Yep, 100%.
This could have happened 3 seasons ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And this year, I mean, he's having his most productive year in terms of tries scored of his career.
Yeah.
That's
officially.
It's an amazing turnaround.
Yeah. Still, Broncos, I mean, just it's like the way they look, like some of the, like one of the tries the Knights scored there where they stripped him on the left there as if they were Souths.
Yeah.
And it's just like I think when it comes to the crunch against some of these teams, like against a Rabbits team or like, you know, some of these more, you know, elite teams in the competition, I think that it looks like the Broncos could conceivably finish, you know, towards the bottom of the 8, and I think they're in real danger of one and done.
Yeah, I
on their current form at the moment.
Well, look, I made Glennie do a ladder predictor. I can't remember what it actually came out at, but
yeah,
Tigers are making the 8. That's my predictor.
Fuck,
what year? Is that like did you read that on the wall of the fucking Centre of Excellence where it said that Benji won a premiership with St. George? Did you see that?
No, I saw a headline.
Didn't you? Oh yeah.
They got this wall of fame, you know, with all these, you know, Tigers greats, and then it's got Benji Marshall. And it's like, you know, blah blah, Kebra Park, etc. You know, and you know, he played for, you know, also played for, you know, the Broncos and St. George and you know, fucking whatever, and then the Souths, and then it said something about, you know, something about St. George where he won his premiership. This is fucking a mural on the wall at the COE.
Oh, that's right. That's
Days.
what we focused on, Nate, was round 24. We're on the Sunday. You've got
Right.
the Tigers who play the Dragons, and the Titans play the Knights. So not that
That's that's okay. That's a Hyper Bowl weekend, not
Yeah.
not a finals prediction. It's a Hyper Bowl. Yeah, okay.
So not that the Dragons are in danger of getting the spoon.
We'll do that. We'll do this at the end of the games because I mean, obviously, a new wrinkle has occurred in the table that's put the Tigers under enormous pressure, and it's become a straight battle for for and against.
That's it.
Yeah, so we will do the ladder predictor, and we may even have to do some guesstimated scorelines for the relevant games for those bottom of the table teams.
Yeah.
Because it's danger times now. Because the Tigers have been clinging on to that, you know, no wooden spoons thing, you know, in quotes, like the same way that the Dragons have, you know, they go the reverse and they talk about all the premierships they've won, you know, over and above the one that they have actually won.
But Nate, to your point, coming down to it, and what do you say you want to do it this episode, or?
Fuck yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, we'll track. I mean, honestly, the battle for the 8 was done. In my opinion, the battle for the top 8 was done when the Roosters beat the Cowboys.
Yeah.
The Roosters really had to win to lose that game. Sorry, to make it a live race.
Yep.
And then the Knights losing to the Broncos as well. That pretty much shut the last little door, I think, for any of the teams outside of the 8 at the moment to get in there.
Yeah.
So I think that battle's done. So really, the compelling battle at this point now is, I mean, with the Panthers with a reasonable lead at the top of the table, so the minor premiership's nothing worth looking at. So it really comes down to the Spooner-Palooza or the Hyper Bowl, depending on how you feel.
That's it.
And so that's the battle that's going to take us through. That's the compelling thing that makes you watch through to the end of the rounds this year. Instead of just fucking hit the fucking cryo tank and just get woken up when it's finals.
I tell you, again, like fucking anything can happen. And I've just done a quick ladder predictor while you were going.
Save it. We only got to talk about 2 more games.
Okay, go.
Save it. Have you done the socials for the Broncos?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Look, we don't have to. I mean, this ladder predictor shit is
Hashtag fuck the
compelling.
Broncos. Hashtag Kalen, you're not fooling anybody. There's the socials for those 2 games. Zach, he said, as a Broncos supporter, this is a punish. Yes, it is. Mark, is gay guy allergic to club footy? I've never seen an Origin player play so bad for their club. James, 30 minutes in and Billy Walters is top tackler. Or so the Germans would have us believe. Kevin.
Norm MacDonald would be spinning in his grave at that delivery.
It would be. He said, I'm actually devastated we've given up Martin for Walsh. TMM is a great player and seems like a great human. He's exactly the type of player the Warriors need, and I hate that we're letting him go. There you go. And our new member, Kings, he said, Newcastle, perfect one day, no credit the next. So new member, long time listener, welcome aboard, sir.
You've already you're adapting to life in the TWiL Nation most excellently. The Raiders 24 to feed the Dragons 22 down there in Canberra. The Raiders 24 tries to Hudson Young, Jordan Rapana, Ryan Sutton and Albert Hopewate with 4 conversions from as many attempts to Jamal Fogarty. Dragons 22, a hat-trick to Talatau Amon. Tautau Monga also with a try, and Lomax 3 of 4 conversions, just missing that sideline one at the end there to take us into Golden Point extra time.
How do you feel about the end of this game, Glennie?
Controversial. Feel like it should have been a penalty.
It should, yeah. I mean, there was that he sort of gave him that extra shove, which forced him to lose the ball. I think if he hadn't have lost the ball, they would have let that play the ball go, and let him run the play.
Yeah.
But there was the fact that who was it? It was Harry Onara, wasn't it? They gave him the push, and he sort of dislodged the ball. Should have been a penalty and maybe 10 minutes for professional foul. Yep. Not that it mattered. I mean, it was like they get the penalty, tie it up, and then they get extra time with a man advantage, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was very poetic because it was the exact same situation in the first time these teams met, where the Dragons won 12-10 and Canberra was supposed to get a penalty at the end there that they weren't given. So it was almost it may well have been a square up. Honestly, it was a great performance from the Raiders for the most part.
Yeah.
And then again, they did the thing they did, and then the Dragons came home strong. And the Dragons did a fucking great job there. I mean, when they had no time left on the clock, they had one play.
Yeah.
And they were coming from way down, way down in their own territory. I mean, it was great play on their part to put that break on, long break and get down to, sort of 10, 15 metres out. And
Yep.
they just needed that one extra pass, and they just couldn't find the support. But look, honestly, Hook's not playing all of the players, giving all the players the chances they need. Willie now, over the next couple of weeks, now they're officially dead. I mean, they were kind of dead anyway because their for and against is abysmal. But,
yeah,
and like the Raiders, they're on life support. They're technically still in it. But the thing is, their for and against is so inferior to the Roosters that the Roosters could, drop one of their 3 games and the Raiders have to win all 3 of theirs, even if they finish on the same amount of points. It's I think the differential is probably something like 100, and it's over 100, so there's no way the Raiders could overcome that.
Yeah.
So I think that they're kind of done too.
The Roosters have got the Tigers this week, so they'll probably be quivering.
Enhance their for and against them.
Probably quivering in their fucking boots.
Yeah.
There we go.
Has any player benefited more from Ben Hunt's season this year for the Dragons than young Amon? He's been one of Hook's victims, and he's found some consistent playing time over the last however many weeks. His confidence is sky high at the minute. He's taken the line on. He's using his footwork.
Yeah,
and just playing outside Hunt it's just showing in how he's playing and the level of confidence that he has. But Hunt had another, kicked a 40-20 and a 20-40.
Yep.
Again,
I do feel for the Dragons here, where they've now got Ben Hunt, who is on the back of a fucking career season, but asking for 1.3.
Yeah.
And I think the last time that Ben Hunt had this happen to him, he was poached out of the Dragons and St. George went and offered him stupid money. Like, they were the ones that went to him and said, hey, here is a giant fucking checkbook. Please come and play for us. I think this time around, he needs to understand that I don't think... Is there a half at the moment that's worth 1.3?
The thing is with Ben Hunt is I think this Dragons experience, if nothing else, I mean, like, everyone understands that this year has been so supremely amazing for Ben Hunt, and a large part of it is because there's fucking nobody else at that club that's any good. So, I mean, he could just go somewhere for what he's on now.
Yeah, that's it. But he could go somewhere for what he's on now, who have a couple of extra pieces and who can attract some additional pieces. Yeah,
exactly.
Instead
of without killing their cap for his own enrichment.
That's it. So,
but anyway. I'm sure there are clubs that would love Ben Hunt coming off this season.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
In their side, but
yeah. Who doesn't have an established 7 at the moment? Southstone. And again, Ilias is doing well, but but they'd take him.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
The Gold Coast wouldn't a fucking heartbeat.
Yep.
Who else? Fuck the Roosters.
Is he signed for next year? Has to be.
Yeah, I don't know. Dragons, I don't care.
I think he is, but that's why they're talking about signing now because it becomes an issue in November.
Sure.
Fucking Redcliffe would love him.
Yeah, of course.
As well.
Yeah,
especially
what we know about if Milf's confirmed there, Ben Hunt avoids that place like the plague. No way he fucking goes and does that again.
No.
Yeah, but what did Milford ever do to Ben Hunt?
Played next to him.
Yeah, but I mean, like the last game they played together, I mean, Milford was like fucking man of the match, really. I mean, Ben Hunt was the one that fucking. Ben Hunt, Milford would be the one that would be saying, "Fuck you, don't stay the fuck away from me, fucking butterfingers." I mean, I should have fucking Clive Churchill and a fucking ring, and you dropped them both, motherfucker.
Lando said the worst part about this game is that Hook is going to spin it that we only lost by 2. In reality, the Dragons were never in the hunt. If he doesn't serve up the same pile of shit next week, I'll be very surprised. And Michael, he said, so we just hung on against the Ben Hunt Dragons. Watching this game reminds me that life could be worse. I could be a Dragons fan. I say that to myself every day.
Glennie says it as well.
No, fuck that. I'd be.
Well, you got your. That's what I'm saying. You got your. You got your big event. You got your big agenda against Dragons fans.
Yeah, that's true.
So of course you don't want to be a Dragons fan.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because they're all cunts to a man. Every one of them.
Choices, Glennie.
All right, finally, the Gold Coast Titans 44 defeat the mighty Manly Seagulls 24 at Hope Solo Coliseum. The Titans tries to double the Bo Firma. Then we got Jolliffe, Jojo Fafita, Brian Kelly, AJ Brimson and Dave Fafita. Tanner Boyd 7 conversions and a penalty goal. The Seagulls tries to Garrick, Jake Turbo, Brad Parker, and Deadman and Ruben Garrick 4 conversions from as many attempts.
There you go.
Thank God the fucking season is over. As I said, I believe it was over when the East won earlier in the round and the Broncos beat the Knights. But thank fucking God this fucking season is over and can mercilessly fucking dump it into the waste bins of fucking 2009 and 2020 as just absolute fucking grim fucking affairs. This game was just absolutely indicative of the whole thing. It was one of those games where literally nothing went their way. None of the fucking, not even the fucking 90-10s went their way. If there was a way for something to not go their way, this game found it to happen. And then on top of that, then the Titans saw that was the case, and they actually took some opportunities. And some of their players played reasonably well, I thought. But my God, they were handed the contest by absolute fucking disinterested players, with the exception of the usual suspects like Ruben and fucking Jakey and Brad Parker, the fucking man who healed a fucking ACL within a season without surgery by sheer willpower. The man with the lowest talent ceiling in the history of rugby league, but yet somehow manages to extract close to 100% out of it every time he takes the field. Which still means that he's obviously nowhere near as good and barely first grade standard. However,
he's out there and he's having a fucking go.
I mean, like, after healing his ACL through the power of his fucking red mind, he still plows 100% into everything he does, which is, that try he scored was an absolute representation of it. There was fucking nothing on there, and it was just through sheer willpower that he fucking somehow forced his way along the ground and over the line to score it.
Slid over the line with 3 players on him.
Yeah, but like from 5 meters out on a dry fucking pitch, I have no fucking idea. Like, such was the fucking intensity with which he threw himself.
Momentum is momentum. Like, the resistance that he would have felt by just the sheer speed that he hit the line and then hit the deck, and he was still going.
Yeah, if it was pissing down rain in a muddy field, you'd go, yeah, well, of course. But it was not that at all. He had no right to get over. But fucking grim from everyone else, and the one player in the Manly 7 who was closest to being able to get himself back into my good graces in Jason Saab, almost best on ground last week in a losing side, but did his ACL, so he's fucking gone for the year. Jakey, he's gone for the year.
Why's Jakey gone? What happened to him?
Broke his hand apparently.
Yeah, right.
So they apparently the X-rays today. I haven't seen much about it online, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. And so whether it hasn't seeped out mainstream yet or not, but I'm pretty sure he's gone for the year, and it's basically a long shot of whether he wants to try and go to the World Cup or not. But
yeah, fuck.
But so that's the shit that I'm most unhappy about. And this fucking the Manly six, like there are some fucking other guys that are in that number that have been fucking terrible since coming back, and they need to take a big fucking look at themselves, because I mean it certainly wasn't. There's nothing to do with combinations or anything. It's just discernibly lower fucking effort.
Yeah.
And they're lucky that I'm not the fucking guy in charge, because there'd be releases no matter what the cost. There would be fucking releases across the board, because it's just unacceptable for professional footballers in this day and age. And I know there's fans of other clubs that would be, lament the fucking lack of effort from their guys as well. But I mean, I have a higher bar of expectation for player fucking intensity and performance, and fuck, it is not fucking it. And there's a couple of things he's going to. They had nothing to do. I'll be very clear. They had nothing to do with the result of the game. But fuck me dead, the referees this year have the potential to fuck the finals up for some team massively. I mean, like the West Tigers thing was obviously the worst thing we're going to fucking see this year, and maybe even any year.
I'd just like to point out you've actually put Glenn to sleep.
He's right there. I can see him. He's right there. Intently. Yeah, he is. See. Like obviously the West Tigers thing is going to be the worst thing we ever see. But fuck me, just some dumb things like in this game, Marty Tapau fucking coat hangers a guy, or hits a guy with a high tackle. Nothing, no penalty, nothing. 3 tackles later, Dylan Walker fucking hits a guy who's a falling target, lowers the target with your stock standard high tackle. It's like, maybe a penalty, maybe you put it on report if you're feeling fucking spicy, and then move on. And he gets sin bin for it. Now we look at the match review afterwards, and what's the result of that sin bin? A fine.
Yeah.
Not even no suspension, nothing like that. And then we get later on in the game, and it's a fucking bunker. I suppose it's the bigger problem. We get later in the game a situation where the Titans player knocks the ball in to play the ball, and they challenge it, and they go, "Oh, he didn't knock it on. It was helped out, or whatever."
Yep.
So the guy in the bunker, I don't remember who it was. He's looking at it to see if anything happened, but it's clear the Titans player plants the ball on the ground when he's on his knees. And then he tries to push himself up and stand up to play the ball, and then a Manly player getting back in the marker, knocks it with his foot. If you put the ball on the ground when you're not on your feet, it's instantly your mistake, no matter what happens. That's literally the rules of rugby league.
It is.
You cannot if you plant the ball on the ground. I hope, unless it happens to Parramatta or someone like that, I hope it doesn't happen to a team in the finals and fuck them over, because that shit's just got to stop. And what else has got to stop is the fucking lazy cunts in the Manly side. I swear, I just want to fight some of those fucking cunts. Dead set. Titans.
One more thing that's got to stop is you talking about this game.
No, I want to talk about Titans now. Tanner Boyd. Who knew that he could be a clutch goal kicker? I think his general play was fairly. Yeah, I don't think he really created much of anything, and I don't think he has a similar ceiling to like Sexton.
Really?
But I think he's got a higher base. Like I think his baseline consistent level is probably high. Probably higher than.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
I think his baseline is probably higher than Sexton's baseline.
Mm.
But I think that the upside on Sexton, given experience and time or whatever, I think is higher.
Well, I think Tanner Boyd, his level of toughness and willing.
Yeah, he's certainly a tough guy.
To get into a physical contest, far outstrips Sexton, and I think.
Yeah, he does, but that's not generally speaking what a halfback is, because they're going to have Kieran Foran. You can't have that on both sides.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I mean, you've already got a Kieran Foran in there. I mean, maybe it makes his Kieran Foran's inevitable injuries when they happen, I mean, Tanner Boyd can play the Kieran Foran role for Sexton.
So then where does Brimson fit into the mix? Because surely Jaden Campbell's the
can't be fullback.
Yeah, he's got to be the long-term fullback, right?
All right, my theory is well, it's not a theory, but like if it were me, he's obviously he has to play in the back line somewhere. I mean, without question, probably wasteful having him as like an impact guy coming off the bench. So, in light of the cattle that the Titans have at this stage, try him at centre.
Oof.
You're not going to put him on the wing.
Yeah,
he can't be fullback. He's not in the He's not in the halves.
I don't know.
He's fast and he's got
defensively.
He's fast and he's got footwork. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I don't think there's a good answer. What are you going to do? Fucking release him, or waste him as like a 14? What's the answer then, Glennie? I'm just trying to find a role for him, and I think centre's the only place where they can capitalise on his
speed,
good qualities. Yeah, like the qualities.
But at the same time, it's also highlighting areas of his game that he's just not there. He's defensively at centre. He's a liability.
But we don't really know though, right? We don't
just
know
size alone.
Yeah, but I mean, would you say that are you going to say that he'd be the smallest centre in the game if he's in centre? There's no chance.
Fuck, I'm going to tape measure.
I'm just trying to.
It's not far off.
I'm just trying to find it. I'm trying to find a jersey for the kid.
Yeah, well, give me one of those best and less cunts and sit him in the crowd.
one of the ones that doesn't have sponsors or anything on it.
Fuck out of here, Brimson.
Fuck. All right. Move on. I want to see this ladder predictor for the Hyper Bowl, boys.
Tynan, he said, I should have watched a Pornhub. Chris.
Hey, you got multiple browsers for a reason, son.
He said, no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for the Eagles. Liam, Gold Coast playing like shit indicates how good Manly is going. Cruzy, he said, did Manly rest the churchgoers again? Ooh, there you go.
They rested themselves.
Yes.
Whilst on the field.
I actually put it to you that if the church guys weren't in there, and they ran out the team against the Roosters, I reckon they would have won comfortably. Because they would have been dug in.
Brendan, he said, is there a rainbow over the stadium? Because Manly seemed to be running scared. Josh, turns out Manly didn't just have much pride in their jersey to make the top 8. Also, Des Ball. Anthony, is Manly's season the biggest decline of the year after top 4 last year to having the last place Titans putting 38 on them with the season on the line? And then he answered his own question and said, yes, it is. Scott, going to go Dairy Queen with Scott's comments because he had a few of them. He said, oh my God, I forgot what having joy in my footy team feels like. Disgusting that I have to feel joy for Jared Wallace.
What did Jared Wallace have? I mean, like,
I don't know. Who knows?
Why is he so hateable to his? I
think people get him mixed up with Jai Arrow.
Anyway, you're choosing to talk about fucking Jared Wallace over a ladder predictor. Fucking
let's go.
Fucking chickadee, check yourself.
All right, let's go. Who's winning the spoon? Let's figure that out. We've got to put scores in for these guys because I know that for and against is an issue. Because that was of course the Dairy Queen vibe of that game. The fact that the West Tigers got chucked into last place.
Well, so let's go here. And so these
Glennie,
games don't matter.
That's right, motherfucker. I said it.
Let's say the Rabbits beat Penrith, right? So Rabbits beat Penrith.
Yeah, don't just put those in. Who cares?
Cowboys Warriors.
Is it relevant to
it will be for the bottom of the 8 and for the middle of the pack.
Okay, so sorry, say again, who are they playing?
Cowboys
easily, yeah. Yep.
Broncos Storm.
Yeah, Storm.
Eels Bulldogs.
Oof. Eels.
Fuck the Eels, no respect.
Moses is back.
Surely they beat the fucking Bulldogs.
So that puts the Eels in the 6th. Manly Sharks.
Yeah,
Sharks.
Manly.
Sharks.
Yeah, Sharks by 50.
Roosters Tigers.
Roosters, obviously. Shut up, Glenn.
See, that's the thing. Now that puts the Roosters back in the 8.
It's relevant to our discussion.
Dragons Titans.
Dragons.
Titans.
Fuck off,
idiot.
Knights Raiders.
Raiders.
Oh yeah, there's round 23. Now, Broncos, Parramatta. In Brisbane.
Broncos at home.
Yep. So that takes the Broncos from 8th to 6th.
Right.
Panthers will beat the Warriors. Storm, Roosters.
Storm.
At Amy Park, so undefeated.
Yeah, doesn't really matter either.
Now interestingly enough, that puts
the top 8 and everything.
That puts the Storm into 2nd.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Raiders, Manly.
Oof.
In Canberra.
Oh, Raiders.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Jake is out for the rest of the season. Fucking
doesn't. So that doesn't move the
another
Raiders. Sharks, Bulldogs.
Sharks.
Rabbits, Cowboys.
Ooh,
Rabbits.
Okay, so at this stage, Parramatta's still in, Roosters are still in. Now this is where Spoonerpalooza comes in.
Yeah, I want the Spoonerpalooza. This is what we're here for.
Down the bottom, you've got the Knights on 14 points.
Yeah.
Then you've got the Titans and the Tigers on 10 points each.
Yeah, so it's only Titans versus Tigers then. These other guys are going to be okay.
Yeah, the Tigers versus the Dragons.
Yeah, Dragons.
Fuck off.
Dragons win that.
Fucking know
Easily.
nothing
Then,
about rugby league,
easily.
you ignorant cunt.
Then you have the Titans versus the Knights in the Gold Coast.
The Knights still showing more. Maybe the Titans can sort of do that thing, late season thing, where they sort of pick up and sort of jag a few wins when it's all done and dusted.
At home, Knights don't travel.
And as of today, of course, the Titans have an advantage by 17 points in terms of differential.
Yeah.
Over the Tigers already. So are they going to beat them on actual ladder points, or are they going to?
So let's say the Knights win that game,
right?
Then round 25, the Titans get the Warriors. Now it is in New Zealand.
Like the Warriors can take them.
It is in New Zealand.
The Warriors will probably take them.
So let's say the Warriors win that.
Tigers beat Canberra.
But
no.
Tigers
Canberra will be playing. Yeah. So, realistically,
the Raiders are playing for a top 8 spot.
It's going to come down to who loses by less on the last 3 weeks for those two sides.
Yeah.
And that game against Newcastle for the Titans, that's what it comes down to. If they beat Newcastle, they're home. If they lose all 3 games, then it's going to come down to magnitude for both teams. And it's only with 17 points difference in for and against. That's not a fucking lot.
Now, here's the interesting thing.
Lose by 6 points more a game and you're out.
After all of that discussion,
yeah,
I've got the Roosters missing the 8. All that talk about them building and they're on the right trajectory and all of this stuff.
Did you take me seriously when I said the Tigers were going to beat them?
No.
Holy fuck.
No, I did not.
Yeah, who do you have them losing to then?
So
how many points are that? How many ladder points are
the
there?
Roosters will finish on 28 points. The Raiders and the Eels will finish on 30 points, and the Broncos.
So you're having the Roosters only win 1 out of their last 3 games.
Well, they've got the Rabbits.
Yeah.
Right.
That was also like at the reopening SFS as well. So that's a big.
So they've got the Rabbits. The week before that, they've got the Storm in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And
the Tigers.
I've got them beating the Tigers.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
Fucking rugby league chaos. Right down to the last second.
Right down to the last, yeah. All right.
Fucking
So that Rabbits versus Roosters game is going to come down to it.
Yeah.
And then the Knights versus the Titans the week before. All right. They're the two key battles for the entire season.
Yeah.
Coming ahead over the next 3 weeks. The Tigers have zero control over their own destiny here. their season,
the season's on a loan deal with other clubs,
and their unblemished as a joint venture record of not getting a spoon is all up to the result of a game between the Titans and the Newcastle Knights that they've got no fucking sway over. Jesus. My God, that has got to be. You're going to be such a Newcastle Knights fan, you might have to fucking throw on a high-vis jersey, Lenny.
Nah.
For that one.
I'd rather get the spoon than support the fucking Knights.
Oh, a man of integrity, I see.
Lenny, don't be so negative.
All the Dragons, for that matter.
All that negativity, you're going to just get a complimentary Newcastle membership in the post.
Be going cheap.
How good. Let's go.
All right. That's it, boys.
Done.
We'll revisit this again on Wednesday night. And that is the conclusion officially of
Not the fucking
episode
ladder
number.
predictor we won't. I don't want to hear about that
No.
again.
No,
You guys
no.
won't. Don't take me seriously.
We'll save the ladder predictors for the Monday night episodes. Hey, we'll do another thrilling edition of ladder predictor.
Fuck you, man.
Next Monday.
Fuck you. I'm doing ladder predictors at the beginning. I'm seeing if I've changed my mind at the end. Next episode's nothing but ladder predictors.
Yeah, and you'll be in the bathroom, fucking just like sitting on the toilet, just ladder predicting non-stop every combination to see what happens next.
Maybe that's what Kaylin and Kurt were doing, just on the ladder predictor together.
They're the ladder predictor.
And then they saw that Titans game was the season, and so they docked to celebrate.
Get stuck into this sponge cake, Kurt. This has got me all hard.
Is Kaylin's new nickname the sponge cake because he gets fucked in cubicles?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's all speculation. I mean, we'll talk about. We'll see. The news will all come out. Well, not the news, but the results, or whatever the club's going to do about things. It'll be the results of what the club's going to do. I mean, I heard he might have his captaincy. He might have his captaincy stripped from him.
Do you know what the club won't do? Oh, what we're going to do, because it's pretty fucking obvious he was in there racking up, is a fucking hair follicle drug test.
Yeah.
No. They're going to.
Callum Ponga's celebrations about his new fucking real estate deal got out of hand when his friends shaved every fucking hair off his body.
Yeah, that's it, hey. Fuck me. Anyway.
If the NRL had any balls, they'd fucking mandate the test.
Yeah, I mean, they would have done that. They would have done if they had the ability to do so. They would have done it with the Storm guys at the end of last season.
That's it.
And then it wouldn't have been any of this white powder bullshit. I mean, they could have just come out and plainly said what it was, because they'd have the tests on record.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
that's it for 487. Thanks for listening, everyone. As always, if you'd like to support the show, consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TWiL Nation. Any closing remarks, fellas?
Fuck the Dragons.
Oh, Jesus.
Why them? Particularly now?
Because they're fans of cunts.
Yeah, what'd they do to you like today, this week? What'd they do to you?
Today. But I'll get a phone call in tomorrow or the next day or something, and it'll just relight the fire.
Oh, God. Glennie, try being positive.
No.
Not very Dairy Queen of you, Glennie.
No, I'm not a very Dairy Queen type person.
Not very Dragon Queen of you there, Glennie.
No, it's really not. Good times.
Not very Khaleesi of you. All right.
Done.
Nice. Well, boys.
See
See you
ya.
Wednesday.
See you next time.